Shalom. First and foremost, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Alright? In this world, ignorantly calls God. His name means that He is, He exists. Bahasham. That means in the name of Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is who this world ignorantly calls Jesus. And the Rakah HaKodash, which is the Spirit Holy. I want to give double honors to the elders, apostles, and bishops of Great Millstone GMS, willing well, teaching His truth on the highways and hedges week in and week out, risking their lives and freedom to do so, now so even more than ever. All right, and Babylon the Great, the tensions that are on this earth, and the geopolitical tensions, the racial tensions, all of the above of which we'll be experiencing right now, and it's just heating up as this thing culminates and approaches the crescendo, approaches Revelation 13, okay, verses 16 through 17, with its devil on the earth brings out the mark of the beast, the RFID implantable micro chip, all right, he causes small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, okay, and you won't be able to buy, sell, or trade unless you have the mark of the beast, to roughly paraphrase verse 17 of Revelation 13, all right, so, this is this really only for the elect, okay, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, that would be you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, you are the true Israelites, no matter what nobody says. We're going based off of the scriptures. And this lesson right here is basically, it's kind of, basically like an impromptu lesson. Basically covering a lunch I had earlier with some family members, and then some extended family. I say extended because, Jake people, was pretty much surrounding our tables. So where we were situated, it was like, okay, I'm sitting at a table, my mom is to my immediate right, my uncle's sitting right across from me, my auntie's sitting diagonal to me, and the table to my left, I had like a table full of, it was like 4 Jake women, 2 of them elderly, and then I could tell one of them was a daughter, and then one of them was the granddaughter. The granddaughter was in her mid-20s, you could tell. She had like a shaved head, it was like blonde, and then her mom had like some braids, and then like directly behind me, it was 2 Jake men. They looked like they was coming off of a job or something like that, and they had sat down, so we all having a conversation. And then the table to the right of us, to the right of me, on the side of my mom, there was like a couple that appeared to be Edomites. I say appeared, so-called white, right? So my mom was having a conversation with what appeared to be an Edomite man, but come to find out, like just listening to him, because he was talking about the Book of Revelation with my mom, because my mom, she starts getting into the war and Donald Trump, talking to my auntie about it, and then he chimes, the dude that looked white, he chimes in, and he starts going into Babylon and the beast, and I'm like, yeah, okay, now we talking. This is a conversation. So we talking about that, and then I start chiming in with my uncle, and I'm like, look, yeah. So these wars, man, this stuff is about to really heat up. So he's into it. So we talking. He's like, yeah. And I was like, man, our kingdom has got to be, it's going to be established, at a certain point. I was like, but before then, our people is delivering into our kingdom, the mark of the beast has to happen and stuff like that. So, and then I was talking about the civil unrest that's to take place in the future prophecies, and I started covering Isaiah 3 for a second, touching on the Great War, okay, and many men shall die in the war, and then I go into Isaiah 4:1. This is where things get interesting. So the elder ladies that sit to my left, they start smiling, and then my mom chimes in because she is mad when it comes out, and it's like I wasn't trying to really bring it out like that to where she got mad, but she I don't think she was really mad, but she was like, well, if men can have multiple women, and women can have multiple men. I was like, y'all been doing that. People started laughing, and so I was like, well, Jake men have been known to have multiple women, in the past, the present, and it's prophesied that it'll happen in the future, and that's when I brought out Isaiah 4:1, okay, because I was like paraphrasing it, and so I actually broke the scripture out, and then the elderly ladies looked at each other. The two elderly ladies, they smiled and they were like, they nodding their head, they're like, yeah, 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 and so, but their daughter, she started popping off. She started, acting crazy. She's like, I don't agree with all that, and then the brothers that sat directly behind me, they was like, one of the dudes, he was like, yeah, that, it's, it talks of, that's the Jezebel spirit, because they got up and left, right? And then we wasn't trying to make it a whole thing. We wasn't super loud or nothing like that. We kind of just kept it within our radius. So the Edomite couple, they walked away and all that, and so, man, so I turn around, so I'm talking to the Jake behind me, and he had a cross on, a crucifix and all that, and I was like, oh, here we go, one of these. So I'm listening to him, and we talking about how the Israelite men had multiple women, and we was talking about Jacob with Leah, Rachel, and then the handmaidens as well, and of course, he started trying to go into Solomon and stuff like that, and we was just having a conversation on that, and so basically we talking about us being Israelites and stuff like that, and so the guy was like, oh, I talked to some brothers like you. He started going off, he's like, he was like, you gotta lead with love and kindness and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I totally understand that, but I was like, when we talking about these things though, we talking about the Bible, right? And we talking about Hebrew Israelites, because this is really who the truth is for. These scriptures, the laws, statutes, and commandments, and everything. The covenant was made with Jacob, and so, I go to bring out the scripture. He's like, no, he started. He basically was like, oh, you in the Old Testament. I was like, man, the old and new treasures come out, to roughly paraphrase. So when these scriptures come out, and when you testify of Yahweh Shai, you're talking about the whole book, because Yahweh Shai, he come in the volume of the whole book, okay, things of that nature, right? And so he was talking to my mom at a point, and he goes into the fact that he's Choctaw and all that, right? And so I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. My mom, she was like, yeah, my mom was Choctaw and this and that, and Choctaw was the original. One of the original ways of saying Choctaw. They say Choctaw now, and it's like the tribe totally whitewashed. He's like, yo, you got these chiefs who are claiming heritage that really don't belong to them, right? So I'm just like, listening to that part right there, and then they get to a point where in the conversation where he was trying to talk about the Israelites again. He said something, and I was like, man, you talking about the Hebrew Israelites, and you came across them, but I was like, at the same token, you talking about you Choctaw, don't you know that those are the 10 tribes? He's like, oh, I'm not a Hebrew Israelite, and I was like, yeah, I dig it, I see what you're saying, because you got that cross on your neck. So I basically was like, man, you got a cross on your neck, so, he's like, I'm 57 years old. Oh, he said it like 3 times. I was like, bro, like, I'm not trying to argue with you, bro. I'm like, that's cool, but that doesn't in my mind, I'm like, age does not always equate to knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Like, so it was a sister that came up, another Jake sister. She was older though. She was like, I hear what you're saying. She was like, I know that it's a debate, but for people that may be listening, it sounds like it's an argument. And I was like, I'm not trying to argue with this, bro. Like, I don't even know him like that. But I'm just, trying to bring out the scriptures, and every time I try to bring the scriptures out, he's trying to loud talk me and everything. And then my mom is siding with him, and I'm like, man, this is some and this is how it goes too with our people, man, because our people are stiff-necked, our people are sottish. This dude got he got a fade, and he keeps saying he's 57 years old, as if like age factors into, like I said, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And Jake is stiff-necked, man. So he gonna claim that he's Choctaw and all that, which is part of the 10 tribes. I'm trying to make a point. I'm trying to show him, like, look, bro, like the Cherokee, all the 10 tribes is over here. You know what I'm saying? So and they are Israelites, bro. Like, they Hebrew Israelites. He's like, I ain't no Hebrew. I was like, okay, it is what it is, man. Like I already know you got this cross on, you got the fade and all that. You older than me, you ain't got no beard. Use the bug out. You know, to me, you just a regular street dude. You know, you don't have the understanding of what these scriptures is talking about, man. There's so many precepts that we can go to prove that we the Israelites, but you're gonna deny it for Christianity. You know, you pretty much throwing it. You doing like Esau doing. You throwing the law behind your back, to roughly paraphrase. I ain't got my soul with me, so you know, it was just an interesting conversation, man. And I walked out of the restaurant, and I didn't feel bad, you know, because I remember like a time like trying to tell people about the truth. Like I used to feel like damn, was I too abrasive? Nah, I mean, like the scriptures say to rebuke them sharply, man. Okay, these people are, you know, they calling on JC, they calling on false names still. They still in that plantation Christianity mindset that they don't even realize was set up by the Romans, okay, the Roman Catholic Church, the 501c3s and all that. And he's talking about he's a teacher, and I was like, I can't really respect you as a teacher because you for one, you still got a cross on your neck. You still talking about Jesus Christ, and you gonna say that you descend from Choctaw, which is part of the 10 tribes, but yeah, you gonna deny you being a Hebrew Israelite? Fuck out of here. So, excuse my expression, man, but you know, our people was all around, and you know, the sister got up. She really did have a Jezebel spirit. The whole church is full of that. I mean, there's videos going around. You see women twerking in the church, wearing micro mini skirts down there, you know, or like form fitting. You know, they're not dressing modest. They're not doing nothing decently and in order. All right, they collected money from the from the people. You know, so and they think they doing something right, man. But it's just like, you know, all I do really is just shake my head, man. Like, you know, the state of our people is really sad, but you know, you got to keep going. You got to keep going, man. So I really just expressed this to say, you brothers going, you definitely, if you haven't experienced conversations like that, I'm pretty sure you will if you're newer in this truth. But those experienced brothers, you already know what it is, man. Dealing with these hard-headed ass 2/3 Jake men and women. You know, so just you know, like the scriptures say, be a strong and of good courage, man, and keep your faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man, and keep praying and you know, keep your head up, man, and keep moving, man. You know, um, yeah, that's it, man. I just wanted to bring that out real quick, man. You know, I didn't do a lesson for the day, so I figured this would be something that I can, you know, add to the repertoire, man. And Lord's willing, it's edifying. To the next one, Shalom.